Oh, they're playing our music. It's Lowco
Oh
Pigskin
yeah.
Live, the final Friday night of the regular season. Oh wow, we have a Halloween pack. We can throw up a Dia de los Muertos. Uh, we can be in the upside down tonight for Lowco
Oh,
Pigskin
nice.
Live. There we go.
I like it.
But yeah, it's Friday night, final Friday night of the regular season. We got a bunch of games going on, 7 of them to be exact. After 4 last night, we will have scores now scrolling across the bottom of your screen, and we've got Buford Zone's coverage of Hilton Head and Beaufort on tap. Hilton Head putting up points tonight. Buford putting up some points tonight. Best
It
offensive showing we've seen from them in a little
yeah.
bit, but not really going to be enough so far. We'll see if they can put up some more here. And Wes Kerr is live at a really good game out in Ridgeland. And here he is, Wes Kerr from Harvey Beach Stadium, where we got a
What's up,
Donnybrook.
buddy?
Houston Academy just slipped back on top on a clutch fourth down flip from Nick Cooper over to Ben Davis. And it was just a terrific heads-up decision to spot the open man, a little underhand flip to Davis, and the Eagles back with the 27-20 lead. This has been a tremendous effort by Thomas Hayward, but CA has gotten back to their game in the second half. They controlled this possession. It's only the second time that Thomas Hayward has had the ball in the second half as they look to tie up the game. But Sonny Bear is able to carry the load, but Josh Gibson has been a force running the football. He's made some good decisive throws as well, but not fitting for Thomas Hayward to tie this game up. Winner takes the second spot in the region. The Eagles will be the 2 seed in the playoffs and get that home game. So lots of implications on the line. And this has been a terrific game. I think we have really seen possibly the best performance from Thomas Hayward that we have seen this year. I think the defense has stood tall. They've intercepted Shuford twice in this game, but just have not been able to find that offense here in this second half so far. But they have a chance to tie it up as we are at the 7.5-minute mark to go here in the fourth quarter.
All right, so we got a
Thanks for
good
the
one
update.
going out there in Ridgeland to catch you up on the scores. Of course, from last night, Bluffton 28-21 over May River, Hanahan 31-21 over Battery Creek, Pinewood Prep
Oh
48-28
my,
over
Josh
JP2.
Gibson.
Oh, we got an update from Wes. What do we got there?
Josh Gibson turned the corner and a good chunky yardage as the Rebels are in the red zone as they look to respond.
How much time on the clock there, Wes?
I'm really impressed with what 7:11 to go here in the fourth.
Okay.
Still a ton of time left. I have really been impressed with what I have seen from Gibson in this game. He has been electric, and he's really got a great sense of what he needs to do to move the ball forward and pick up good gains on the ground. They haven't thrown it a ton recently, but he has really set the tone with his legs. And of course, Daniel Bainer has had his role as well and has been as electric as ever. But I mean, Gibson had a big run up the middle to set up the O'Banner touchdown run earlier in the game, and that ground game has really been a big spark here for Hayward. And I think the defense has worked hard. They have made BA earn it those last 2
Yeah.
possessions that they have found the end zone, and you got to be very optimistic if you're a Rebels fan with how they've competed, how they've hung around in this game, and now they have a chance to tie it late. Terrific atmosphere, a couple of festive Halloween costumes amongst the crowd, and a good turnout here on this Friday night. A chilly one here in
I
this
say
this Week
Frio.
10
Yeah.
clash.
Yeah. Frio
I
for
say
sure.
Frio indeed.
That's
Yes.
a big reason why Max and I decided to go and cover the afternoon delight before the sun
Which
went down.
was maybe
And it
closer than you
was,
expected.
yeah, it was a pretty
It was
competitive
quite a
game.
ball game.
33-21 win for Hilton Head Christian over Hilton Head Prep. Dolphins really showed themselves well. Big day for Joey Haupt. I have his stats here. He had 6 catches for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns, 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a punt of 36 yards that was inside the 20. So heck of a
A
yeoman's effort from Joey Haupt today.
You talk about what Hilton Head Prep was able to do. Certainly, Wyatt Harmer did a great job of managing the game, but a huge day, and I mean a huge day for Davis Cargill. That guy ran like a man possessed. He was everywhere making plays, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And you're right, JJ. Joey Haupt with a huge day himself, 3 big
Here comes
touchdown
Josh
catches,
Gibson
and they really
sliding
did a nice
into the
job.
end zone. Touchdown, Thomas Hayward.
Oh wow.
They really
The
did a
C's
great
parted
job
up the
of
middle,
stopping
and
some big plays.
terrific response on this drive as they scored very quickly after BA took the lead, and now extra point away from tying this up again.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible game going out there in Ridgeland, back and forth all night. Sounds like if they can get the kick through the sticks, it'll be tied at 27 unless they get crazy and go for 2 here.
Let's see. Now
They
the
lining up the
question.
kick.
They're still huddling, so we'll see what they do. They beat Gutsy here,
Well,
and
while we
just as you
anticipate
said that, it is you got a timeout. Looks like they were running up to go for 2, and
Want this?
they must have
mean,
heard
it
they must
just
have heard your call
seems
there.
it just kind of seems like a spot for that
Well,
team.
when you're
I
the
mean,
underdog, you go for 2 in a big spot like this, and I feel like Thomas Hayward is in this game. And
well, and you're going to
having
give them the ball back with some time on the clock.
Mm.
I don't know.
It's a tough decision. I mean,
It is.
I'm
I
glad
don't
I'm not
know.
the coach in this
I also
situation.
don't know how, what their confidence level is in their kicker. I don't know enough about him. I know in the
Yep.
past they had the Robinson kid. He was a really good kicker. I don't
Yep.
know
They
how.
did. Yeah, I believe they missed an extra point earlier in this game.
Right. So I
He did
don't
miss
know
a
how much
PAT earlier.
confidence there
Yep.
is. If it's a coin flip either way, you might as well go for 2, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
absolutely.
See if you can't potentially win this game right here
Oh,
without
I mean,
having to
there's still a
score
ton of
again.
time left. 6:22. Yes,
Right.
that's the
But
key. But
potentially, I mean, you
if you
put
get
yourself in a
one
position
stop,
to
if you
win
get
the
one
game with one
stop,
stop. Yeah.
right,
You're going to have to get a stop either way, but if
right.
in this way, and you're going to have to
And
score
as
again
you
either way.
thought, the offense is on the field, and they will go for 2.
Oh boy, here we go. Wes going old timey radio
Big
for us,
swing
giving the
play
live
right
look.
here. You got 3 wideouts to the right. Gibson under center. Here we go on the 2-point try. So Banner takes it to the left side, and he is stopped. EA swarms immediately, and the decision does not pay off for the Rebels.
Wow. So BA leads it
EA with the
27-26.
27-26 lead, and they get the ball back.
Yes, and
that's big.
I mean, Hayward was going to have to stop them regardless, and so now you've got to stop and score, and really you were going to have to score also to win the game. I mean, you could have gone to overtime, obviously, but if you're trying to avoid overtime, then that was the play. Is go for 2, and they get stuffed though.
I don't mind the call.
Now,
I mean, props to BA for shutting it down. They were all in on
I really
Banner.
think it was the call. I mean, 2 yards for your season, so to speak. For the difference between second and third.
For
For a home playoff game next week, really
that
is what he's
is
playing
incredibly important. Yeah, big swing.
Yeah,
But,
and credit to BA's defense, the bigs up front. I'm sure Ross Saunders and Trey Delaney were in on it, shutting it down.
I mean, you talk about those guys who have stepped up this season. There have been some times where they've had some rough stretches, but in one of the bigger plays of the season, you expect those 2 guys and others to come through and swarm a guy who has been such a talented runner. So that's a massive momentum play for VA. And what do we got here?
Your Seahawks are looking good tonight, up 39-20.
Yeah, but,
a few other. We got an update from the farm where Patrick Henry has lost their quarterback, Rylan Brunson. We're told that he was headbutted and punched and kicked, and someone swung on him, and Brunson was ejected. That was with the Patriots leading 14-6 going to the 4th. So they went to the Wildcat, and Kai Sobey, the sophomore who we mentioned last night, with a 60-yard run to the house. Then Jay Bishop with a scoop and score on an AJ fumble. So it's now 26-6 Pats. Ball don't lie. Pats are going to
Right.
come away with that win, it looks
They're
like,
going to
and
lock
make
in their
the
playoff
playoffs.
spot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good to see that for Patrick Henry and Stricklander and that entire squad. In a big game like that, find some guys.
And there's other good news from Patrick Henry because their JV just finished up last night with a 7-1 record. So, a little bit of a rebuilding this year, but there's definitely more talent on the way, and that team's going to be back up there among the 1A contenders real quick as we look at Derek Granajeski scrambling.
What a great kid.
6:15 left to go. BA with the ball and up by 1.
All right.
And they have shown that they can eat up some clock. I mean, this has been like their third possession of the half, and their first drive of that second half, it ate up 6.5 minutes. It ate up more than half the third quarter. So they've really controlled the time of the possession big time in the second half. And try to do it again here.
Update for you from Daniel Island, and it's not good. Now 48-0 Bishop England over Colleton County going to the fourth quarter. Barnwell also beating up on Whale Branch tonight, 36-6 in the third. So we're going to eat some crow on that one. We all picked.
I think I chose the right game to get to because I was contemplating that Whale Branch game, so I think I chose the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it wouldn't have been a good night to go out to Allendale Fairfax either, and I mean it would have been for Hardyville highlights because the Canes are rolling 45-0 with a running clock now in the fourth quarter. Got touchdowns galore, obviously. Miliano Santiago has thrown 3 touchdowns and rushed for 1. Tukey Green with the touchdown run. And Cairo Jameson has a touchdown reception and a fumble return for a touchdown. Efrain Tinoco with a field goal. Greg Grant, a touchdown grab. And Travis Brown, a touchdown grab. So lots of people getting in on the action for Hardyville.
Last 2 games there for Hardyville. So they're going to get a home playoff game, correct?
Yes, sir. Lakeview will be coming to Hardyville next week, it looks like.
Oh, so, that is tremendous. That's an outstanding regular season to get that home playoff game in the tough 1A classification in a tough region.
Yeah, we're excited
got pushed
about
back
that.
in a penalty.
I'll say this if I can interject. I'll say this. Obviously, with Javon and Buford's own being at the Hilton Head Buford game, that's a big deal. But I saw Buford twice this year, and they only scored 7 points.
Right.
This is a very good sign for Buford.
Right.
Trying to get their playoff chances going, and that's quite a good game that we've got going on, despite the score.
Now they did have a defensive score in there as well. Chaz Brown with a pick 6, I believe.
Naturally, quite naturally. For Chaz Brown.
Unfortunately, it's not like Ken Palm where you get quality points for how the offense is. It's either a win or a loss in the RPI.
Correct, in the RPI, and they're going to be on the bubble.
But still, I mean, you're probably going to end up most likely on your way
to South Point.
South Lawrence
it's either South Lawrence or South Point. That's what's facing.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of fun either way. But you've seen some real progress on offense over the course of the season.
For BA Thomas Hayward,
feels like they're running out of
third
time.
and long, and here comes Shuford down the right side, and I think he's going to be stopped short. Looks like the Hayward Rebels are going to force a 4th and medium around midfield. We'll see what BA and Coach Nick Shuford wants to do here. I assume
Williamsburg
aggressive,
beating up on Dorchester. So
about that.
Wow, so
looking like R3 seed, which would be Thomas Hayward if BA holds on.
That's important because the loser of this game is going to have to go to Dorchester, correct? Yeah, that's a tough first round matchup.
Sure is.
For losing this game.
Looks
And
like
And
an
oh, a high
injury.
snap, but they
Patrick
get it off.
Henry, that
And
means
it's a
the
fake.
Patriots
It's a
reward is a
fake.
trip to
Here comes
Williamsburg.
Nick Underwood on the left side. And he gets through a tackle. He's going to get a first down. The flag is on the field. And there he goes down the
Oh
left
boy.
sideline. He's going to go
So
all
we'll
the
wait to
way.
see.
Oh, my. But there is a flag down. Wow. That
He went to the
was
house?
quite a sequence there. He
He
took it
went
all
all
the
the
way on
way,
a
yeah,
fake
according to
punt.
Wes. Wow.
But
Wow.
there is a flag on the field.
Real quick, there's
And
an
it is
injury
going to be
timeout.
a hold on the offense. It is a hold on
Oh,
Buford Academy
oh
from first
my.
look, and it's coming back.
As Daniel Court said last night via the graphic, let him play.
Let him play.
There's an
Well,
injury timeout in the
doing
Beaufort's
okay.
own game between Hilton Head and Beaufort. We'll let you know if we are able to find out the situation there for sure.
Yeah. We won't know any more than you though if you have access to the Buford Sun stream. So
Yeah. So
yeah, we'll keep a lookout there. But they had a
we'll
couple
push it
injuries
back.
in this game. I know that Jaden Priester went down earlier for a good while. Hope he's okay, especially on the eve of wrestling season. He's a great wrestler for them, so hope he's fine. Let's see, what do we got? We got BA on top, 27-26, fourth quarter, coming down to the wire. Wes is there. Patrick Henry pulling away now, 26-6 in the fourth. Hardyville up big, and time might have expired by now. Bishop England up
Bishop
48
England up
nothing
big.
on Colleton in the fourth.
Mm.
And that's
Yep.
most of them.
Looks like
Yeah, the
we will have to have
two top games of the
You'll have to have
nightcap.
the post-mortem on the
Yeah.
Cougars, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then pretty soon we're probably going to have to talk about whether it's time, whether they make a change. I think the clock's ticking over there. So not a great showing tonight. Let's see if we got a Whale Branch update. They were down big
Getting
in
smoked.
the third quarter.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, 43-12 now in the fourth in favor of Barnwell.
Ouch.
So yeah, we were a little off on that one.
Here's the deal, guys. We're seeing the rubber meet the road for a lot of these
Yes.
teams,
Yep.
which
I mean, this time
we certainly figured. I've seen a bunch of games throughout the year, both calling them and seeing them, doing the moonlighting, and we clearly know heading into the playoffs next week who has a chance to battle for state titles and who is just a little bit below, if not a lot below. The rubber
Yeah.
has met the road for all of these teams. I have to say, I'm really not surprised in any of these results. I go back to, wanting Cross to win in 8-man, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. Oh, by the way, kudos to them for putting
Put
up
up
36
36 though.
points. That is dang good against a very good Palmetto Christian team.
Yeah.
But you see what we see, and kudos to THA for coming out and playing stiff competition and great football with BA in the game that Wes is at.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Not great
Big
news on
bounce
the
back.
field. We have a potential serious injury right here on the left
no.
sideline with number 24 for Thomas Hayward. The medical team is out to check on him, and he is
That's a bummer.
lying down and struggling right here on the near sideline.
I
He's
hate
trying
to see that.
to tough it out.
Looks like that'd be
So I hope
Jackson
for the
Simcox,
best. You know,
junior DB and wide receiver. So hope he's all
they
right.
also lost. They also lost Hyman as well earlier in this game. So a couple of tough injuries here for the Rebels. That
Down
depth
to
is always
2
important.
minutes and 11 seconds at Andrew Jackson, with the Pats still up 26-6. So it looks like Patrick Henry will earn that trip to Williamsburg next weekend. We got a final from Daniel Island, 55-0. Bishop England wins it tonight.
Oh my.
So that's going to do it for Colleton County's season. And we'll see if it's time for
it'd be interesting to see what happens there. It's been 3 years, and it might be
not a lot of progress. That's usually a magic number, so we'll see.
It's 3 years and haven't seen much, and it's the only time to move on. We'll see what they do.
Yeah,
sure will. So we got that. I've got some makeshift brackets, some bracketology that we can talk about too. But certainly, we're keeping an eye on that game over there where Wes is in Ridgeland, and we'll see if we got a final yet from Allendale. See if the Canes were able to finish off a second straight shutout to finish the season, which would be regular season. Should be an amazing one. Yeah, it's final at 45-0. So Hardyville, two straight shutouts, 78-0 over the last 2 weeks. Granted,
Wow.
against not the strongest of competition, but it's one of those deals where they went through that gauntlet, and then you get to the
Yep.
other side and you get back to some equal competition, and you see the
Yep.
the payoff.
Right. See
And
the
so
strides that you make it
um,
when yeah
Yep.
they went
yeah, the
through the
defense has
gauntlet and now
really
you
put it
emerge.
together. I mean, they've been
Yep.
playing really well for a long time. The offense had that rough night in the rain against Ridgeland, but has really started to figure it out
Yep.
since the second half of that
Well,
Denmark game. And I feel really good
I
about
I,
where they are
I
going in the
haven't
playoffs.
I haven't studied too much in terms of some of those 1A teams, but your thoughts on their potential opponent and how they
So
could
it's a
match up.
rematch of last year, and Lakeview kind of ran us off the field last year, but different
That's
teams
right.
on
Yep.
both
Right.
sides. Pretty comparable record wise. Lakeview has probably been tested a little bit more, just in terms of their region is very strong at the top. Um, I think it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be if the Canes play the way they have the last couple of weeks, I think they'll have a real shot. If they don't play up to that standard, then they might get themselves behind the eight ball. But it should be a competitive game in Hardyville next week.
Real quick, guys. I'm not sure if Max mentioned this. I didn't, for sure. But Braylon Paler,
Yeah,
the halfback for May River, got hurt yesterday. I initially thought that it was a much more serious injury than it was. Apparently, it was an arm injury that he had in the second
yeah.
half. He was definitely treated on the field for quite some time. I thought it was something more around his head or neck area. All the best to him for sure, based off how he's doing and the significance of that injury, knowing that May River has a game next week. Could very well be at home. Obviously, we'll know in the next, couple of days or so,
Should be.
probably.
Yeah, they should be at home.
Um,
Mm.
I would think so.
Maybe a 7 or
All the
8 seed, you
best
think?
to Braylon
Mm.
Paler for sure.
Seven, I
Yep.
believe,
Yeah. Those
unless something funky happens with the RPI.
yeah those
Should
brackets
be.
should be out pretty soon because we are wrapping up the regular season tonight. Expect them to
Yeah,
turn around quickly and over
I
the
expect they'll
weekend
be
and get
out
those.
tomorrow, most likely. If
Mm.
not, I
Yep.
mean, she's on top of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Ramonda is
Yep.
really good.
Yeah. They
Um,
do a good job over there, and we got something that
it's the
just
best
happened
it's
over
ever
there at
been.
Hilton High. Yep. Yeah. No, she's done
Indeed, we
great.
got
The whole logistical, a long run to the house. It looks like for the
somebody went
Seahawks,
off to the races.
45-20. Yep. Hilton had
Like I'm gonna put it
putting a
away,
bow on a perfect region
and
finish.
it
It's a
looks like
special team. Both
Yep.
teams are very special. And on that note, I had to ask. I love having a little fun with Hayden Gregory and riling him up a little bit. Certainly with talking about upcoming games and that type of thing. He's like, why can't we just enjoy what we have?
yeah.
What we've done. I'm like, you can. I just want to
Yep.
get an insight.
I got to
But
look ahead. Yeah,
seeing his two kids with him,
yeah, that was cute.
I'm not afraid to mention this at all. I mean, it got me choked up out there,
Yeah, it was cute. It
and
was
and
really
I had
cute.
to ask him as the final question. What is this experience like for you, coaching this team and doing this for your family, and
Yeah,
just being a Bobcat coming from where he came from in Georgia?
yeah,
And he gave, of course, a great answer with the ability to be able to coach, and that's the thing that I don't think we talk about enough. The families of these coaches
Oh my gosh.
pay the ultimate sacrifice,
Oh my gosh.
wives, girlfriends, children,
The kids,
moms,
man,
dads, you name it, because
Yep.
these coaches are into it for
Yeah.
about,
pouring a
on
lot of
average,
energy,
360 days a year out of 365.
pouring a lot of energy into other
Oh,
people's
Yeah.
kids,
There's
and that
no
is
days off.
a
and
admirable.
you know it too,
And I
JJ,
think
as a
BJ
coach
Payne
of
has done
multiple
better than.
sports.
My kids, my
Yep.
kids get it, and they
Yep.
understand that. it's a blessing that they get
Yeah.
to have coach at home all the time, and
Yeah.
that they have to share him. Like that's just the way it is. And they've grown up. It's always been that way. I've always been their coach, and I've always been everybody else's coach too. So
That's
they
such a
get it.
treat for you to
Um,
be, that person, not just a parent, not just a dad, but someone who's been that coach for your kids, for Finley,
Right.
for Truman.
oh,
I
it's the
mean,
best.
such
And
yeah,
then it's cool to
yeah,
watch him go out from
yep,
under your wing and be coached by other
right,
people, and then hear how
yeah, yep,
well coached they are.
yep.
Like that
By
they
the
Yeah.
way,
get it.
I saw a Halloween costume last night. This boy wore his Waves jersey.
Oh
It
yeah,
was pretty cool. Yeah,
nice.
yep. I love
So
it.
looking at the
Hundred
scoreboard,
percent love it.
South Florence is beating up on Hartsville, so it looks
Yep.
like they will lock up that
Unfortunately, it
overall
looks like
number one.
there is a emergency
Oh shoot.
further
Oh,
evaluate
bummer.
and treat Simcox, the injured
Mm,
player for Tom Hayward. So we are
hate
still
to
in a
see
delay
that.
as we tend to the injury, and not something you want to see at all. Wishing him all the best and his family as they are now by his side, checking on him on the
Mm,
sideline as the emergency
Yeah.
vehicles are arriving to the field.
I've
That's
I've called
unfortunate.
games. I have called games in my career. I remember just a few years ago, I was where I was today with Max at Hilton Head Prep, and
Yeah.
Danny Fernandez went down,
I
and
think I
Bob
was there as
Stevens
well.
called that game with me, filling in for Daniel Court. It was the second broadcast ever of Court of
Hmm.
Walsh and Court. We missed Daniel that night, and Bob Stevens filled in for him, and of course did an admirable job to say the least. And Danny Fernandez went down in the second half, and
yeah.
that was about as scary a situation as I
Yep.
recall. And the thing is, and we talk about this a lot with the coaches and certainly the players. They know what they're getting into when
Oh
they
Yeah.
yeah.
decide to play this game. It's
Yep.
it's not for the faint of heart.
It
And
is not.
certainly all the best to that young man and to
Yeah.
all that have been injured from this great game that we love to cover for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Scary to see. I
Well,
mean, this is not.
Max Arash has joined us.
I have. I'm going to be here just for a brief time because I'm actually currently still at a Halloween party with some friends and stuff. But I thought I'd give you guys my summary on the game I was at today between Hilton Head Christian and Hilton Head Prep, and then give you some quotes from people I interviewed after the game,
All
including
right.
Joey Hopt and Ron Paduzzi.
This was a
But
33-21 win for Hilton Head Christian.
yeah, good. It's a good win for them, but a
Very
little
good.
worrisome just because the run defense. We know that's been an issue this year, but it really showed apparent today. They just could not find a way to stop Jay Cargill. Just a really, really difficult time stopping him, especially with how big that offensive line is. With some two behemoths on that offensive line for Hilton Head Prep.
Were they ever? One's an eighth grader.
Yeah, one's an eighth grader. Got
Good
4 more
grief.
years of that dude. Yeah. So overall, I think AJCA played well. Hilton Head Prep made some great adjustments at halftime to pull them within a score, but Hilton Head Christian Academy was able to make their own adjustments to keep ahead of Hilton Head Prep, eventually getting the 33-21 win. I listened to their huddle after the game. Matt Smith, the defensive coordinator for Hilton Head Christian, said, "Hey, this was a roller coaster of a game. But the thing is, you got to the end of the roller coaster and you came out on top. That's what's important in that kind of game when it's a close battle between your rival of well over 2 decades now." I talked with Joey Hopt, and what a game that he had today.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns that were all just as impressive as the other. Just running through the defense, breaking tackles left, right, and center to score some long running touchdowns on, short catch and runs. I talked with him and I said, what was the adjustments you guys had to make? And he just said, formations and patterns. We just had to, adjust to the patterns that Hilton Prep was showing on both offense and defense. And once we figured that out, we were able to, pull away and get the win. I talked with Ron Baduzzi, and he said the same thing. Formations were key. Joey Hopt was a great help for our game. Cress Langhouse is getting more and more confident as each game goes by with him at quarterback. It's really impressive to see this team continue to improve. And actually, there's also one other game of note that needs to be kept an eye on, and that is Trinity Collegiate taking on Florence Christian tonight. The loser of that game will be playing Hilton Head Christian Academy at Hilton Head Christian Academy next Friday. So keep an eye on that game. The other thing I wanted to say was I did get an injury update for next Friday on Hilton Head Christian. There are two players, key players. One is out, one is questionable. The questionable player is Chip Hetzel. He is questionable for their game next Friday. The player that is
against. Go ahead.
Yeah, the player that is out next Friday is Kevon Atkins.
That's
he
a
will
big
be out
loss.
next Friday.
Yeah, he's been tough.
That is a big loss. He was everywhere against JP2. I think I called
Lawrence
his name about
is
10 or 12
beating
times.
up on Trinity, 49-15.
And
Florence
that's
Christian.
not.
So
And
looks like
I'm
does
going to
not
say
bode
this.
well.
I'm going to say this right now. That is not what Christian Academy wants to see, and the reason
Not
why
well,
is Florence Christian is a run-heavy team. You would rather go up against the pass-heavy team of Trinity Collegiate rather than the run-heavy team of Florence
Wait,
Christian.
you said they're playing the loser, right?
you said the loser
Oh
of
no!
that
So
game.
yeah, Trinity
comes-
Collegiate would be.
Trinity,
Yeah, never
yeah.
mind.
Oh,
I take
Right,
it back.
right,
Okay,
right.
that's
So,
the result we want.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the result Hilton Head Christian
that's
would
what you
want.
want. Yeah,
But
of
both
course
teams
that is
are both teams are impressive. By the way, if Trinity Collegiate loses this game, both teams will come in with a 5-5 record next Friday, and Florence
that
Christian
should be a
will
fun
lose
one.
7-2. Yeah, this should be a great game.
That's
Two pass heavy defense, two pass heavy offenses. I think Hilton Head Christian Academy might have an advantage with Hudson Baker at running back for them. I think that's going to be a really good game between the two. But I thought I'd hop in and give you guys my summary of the game and some quotes from players and coaches, and then hop off and let you guys continue.
correct
Right
me
on,
if
man.
if I could chime in. Correct me if I'm wrong, Max. You were at the sideline, and then certainly with me in the stands for a good portion of the game too.
Yes.
From my vantage point in the stands, it really seemed like Hudson Baker was really neutralized awfully
He
well
was.
by Hilton Head Prep.
And that's the one thing I've noticed about Prep's defense is they're very good against the run game. We saw them against big run by
Huge run
Zarnecki?
for Hilton Head.
I'd be
Yep.
Zarnecki.
Yeah,
That's
Zarnecki.
Thad the Impaler
The Impaler.
Yep.
Golly.
Yep.
Sorry.
taking that 65 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah. Going back to Prep's defense, the one thing I noticed, and we saw it against JP2 on WHHI, is they are really good against a run defense. I mean, they held JP2 scoreless through a half, and they were tightening up on JP2's run game, which is their bread and butter, And they did the same thing with Hudson Baker today. I'm not worried about Hilton Head Christian. If Hudson Baker can get going, this Hilton Head Christian team could take down Trinity Collegiate next Friday.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Good.
All right, brother. Well, enjoy the rest of your Halloween.
I'm going to.
We'll talk to you real soon.
All right,
Be safe,
appreciate
buddy.
you guys. See y'all on Monday.
Be
Sounds good, man.
Kick is up. The kick is
And it's
good.
through.
And it is.
And just
wait,
1
did he say
second
good, or
remains.
did he say no?
They're still in the third?
It's good.
Yeah.
Still in the third quarter.
1 second remaining in the
53
third
to 20.
Yeah. We've got finals from around the area. Max just told you about his perspective from 33-21 win for Hilton Head Christian at Hilton Head Prep this afternoon. Hilton Head 53-20 with 1 second left in the third quarter, as you see on your screen. Bishop England blanks Colleton County 55-0. Barnwell 43, Whale Branch 12 in the fourth quarter. Hardyville rolls 45-0 at Allendale. Patrick Henry now a final 26-6 over Andrew Jackson. That one final on the farm, or final out in Kershaw, or wherever that place is. And Buford Academy on top 27-26.
Yep, Simcox being carted off the field. Just a scary sight there. We wish them all the best. And they're going to give a brief warm-up period because it has been a lengthy delay.
It's been a good while now.
Yeah.
So they will allow both teams to warm up, and then we will resume with a fourth down for Buford Academy after that penalty. Hayward looks like they will most likely receive a point back down by 1, 3:56 to go as both teams try to reset your teammate get cut off the field, I mean, it's got to be in your head when you get back to playing.
Absolutely.
I mean, use that as inspiration and fuel to try to get this thing done and pick up what would be a very emotional win for them.
Getting back real quick to that Hilton Head Christian Academy, Hilton Head Prep game that Max and I were at, I tell you what, Hilton Head Prep has really impressed me. I had the chance to call a game of theirs against JP2 and then to see them today. Obviously, their ability to run the football is, one thing that sets them apart. When you talk about them, May River, Max mentioned Buford as well. And Finn Rooney has made some huge plays this season at different spurts, being able to catch the football. He can make some moves as well. And he is a really, really good kicker, punting and kicking the football both. This Hilton Head Prep team is taking the right pieces this year and definitely taking some momentum forward in a lot of these games that we've talked about throughout the course of the year. A tough start, but they've definitely shown some signs that they can battle and make some things happen. At least play spoiler and keep things close.
All right, so Johnsonville has beat Latta. I've got the 1A bracket up here. So that means Latta will go in here and play Baptist Hill. This should be the 1A bracket down to the. Yeah, this should be it. So it looks like Ridgeland will get Bethune-Bowman at home. That should be a pretty good matchup. Really good defense for Ridgeland.
Yeah.
Offense is starting to find its stride, but Bethune-Bowman had some tough wide receivers and a good quarterback. So I think that'll be a pretty decent game. I think Hardyville Lakeview should be a good one. Allendale gets the trip to Carver's Bay. That's their reward for making the playoffs for the first time in a minute. So, and then I gotta think Bamberg's the favorite to win this whole bracket. Although Bamberg Cross in a lower state final would be excellent. So that's what your 1A bracket's going to look like. How we doing over there, Wes?
Looks like final huddles are being made, and we are very close to resuming this one, as it will be a 4th down and long for Buford Academy. And here we go. We are back to action. It'll be a 4th and about 14 or so on their half of the field.
Just to
And
recap,
expect to see the punching unit.
Buford Academy had run a fake punt for a touchdown, but it was called back on a penalty. There was an injury on the play. So it was kind of a weird break in the action because there was a huge play called back, and then we have this long break, and now we're back to it with how much on the clock?
3:48. That was not a great punt over there. So it was a low line drive that didn't really go in the air much at all. And Thomas Harrison get great field position out of this. Down by 1, 3:45 to go, and they will get it on their own 48.
Shout out to
They have
former BA great Clay Lore checking in.
Yeah, how
In the
about him?
Instagram comments, said he's tuning in to check on BATHA from up at the Citadel. We got finally at the end of the third quarter at the Nest.
Gib's been able to get a yard or two out of it. They've had some snap problems today. A couple of snaps that have been just low and wayward of the target there, but you have those mistakes this late in the game. They're the Rebels, but still able to get a couple of yards out. So credit to Josh Gibson. He's been great today, as I said earlier.
Never a night off for Kevin.
Nah, I invited him in tonight, but he said he was dead to the world and
I'm
needed
sure
to be relegated to the comments.
I am sure.
I probably belong in the comments tonight too, but here we are. Been a long week. Buford
about
with the
5
ball
coming up here.
No. Buford's got the ball.
It's the Hillnet game.
There we go.
Seahawks run away with that one, but
Finally in the fourth quarter over there.
Still for the Beef Eagles. Yeah, this one's it's taken a while. This one, we are deep into it here in the fourth. Gibson's got it on the right
Thomas
side,
Hayward.
trying to power through, and I look like it's a first down. It will be a first down for Thomas Hayward.
Which way are they going? They
Once
going
again,
toward the locker rooms
they're
or toward
going
the trees?
left to right on your radio dial.
Okay, yeah.
There you
I
go.
needed to know that. I needed to know that to visualize it. Hampton County in the house. They had a week off this week to get ready for next week. I got the 2A bracket all squared away too. Looks like they're going to get Lake City at home to open, and then they might have a tough game in round 2. We're going to have to see how some of those games turn out tonight to see who their opponent will be in
Banner,
round 2.
test the right side. He is gonna go all the way. Touchdown, Thomas Hayward. But did he have
Flags.
possession as that crossed the plane?
Oh no,
That's a bummer.
they don't have
And they
replay.
say touchdown.
Touchdown
Thomas
Rebels.
Hayward.
No challenge flags, no replay. It is what it is. High school football, baby. So the Rebels take the lead after gambling on the 2-point conversion and failing. They end up with the touchdown after the stop on defense, a penalty nullifying a Buford Academy touchdown on a fake punt run to Nick Underwood. So just swinging wildly over there. And Wester's still got to be
Back and
2.5 minutes on the clock, right?
Yeah, two. I mean, did they score too quickly? 2.5 minutes to go.
Great question.
2:32 to be exact, and up by 5. They'll go for 2, try to make it a 7-point game.
Game for the football stayed for Wesley Kerr with the live report from Thomas
Banner up
Hayward
the middle,
Academy.
and no, this is stopped again.
Denied
A 2-point
again.
try. So it's a 5-point lead, 32-27. Thomas Hayward.
32-27, Thomas Hayward. 2 minutes and change to go.
In response by the Rebels, they scored quickly, so time still for Nick Shuford and company.
And
As the
just a
fans
reminder,
getting loud here at Harvey Beach Stadium.
and just a reminder that the loser of this game is going to have to go to Dorchester Academy, which was undefeated until tonight. Tonight, Dorchester falling to Williamsburg Academy, and that's going to be a tough draw for somebody.
Yeah, this is a
Yes, indeed.
massive swing game. Just having to being able to stay home for your first round game, and compared to having to go on the road faced a very good team that still is championship caliber in 1A piece of football.
Absolutely. Central beat up on North Central tonight.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
that's gonna, let's see, Central.
Implications here in 2A.
Let's see.
I'll tell you, that's been a
Central.
jumbled mess all year. That 2A
It
2A
has.
top 10 has
And
been just an absolute mess.
Andrew Jackson.
I mean, I could see a bunch of. I think Strom Thurmond barely still has that top
Well,
spot. But it is
and they're in the
tight.
upstate this year. They're going to go to the upstate.
Oh, wow.
So that's good news for us as well. So it looks like Central going to get the win tonight. That's going to break up the logjam. Andrew Jackson also won, though, and Andrew Jackson has the head-to-head on Central. So they are going to get the number 1 seed out of that region. Wow. That means that North Central will be the 3 seed. They'll play Andrews in the first round with the winner going to Hampton County as long as the Hurricanes advance. Whale Branch is going to be headed to Philip Simmons. That is a brutal matchup.
That's tough.
One for them.
Very tough.
Yeah. Barnwell will go to Timberland, and Lake Marion will get either Atlantic Collegiate, Kingstree, or East Clarendon. There's a logjam in that region as well. So, but yeah, looking at Hampton's path, I mean, they'd get 2 at home, and then if Manning gets out, they'll have to go back to Manning where they lost last year, unless Timberland knocks them off along the way, and then they would have to go to Philip Simmons. That would be the lower state championship if the seeds hold.
That would be very interesting. For sure.
Yeah. And it looks like the Seahawks will be the number 2 seed in the 4A lower state bracket. That is how it's looking. And South Aiken beating Aiken tonight, so that means South Aiken will be the 15 as far as we can tell. And travel to Hilton Head. Looks like it'll be Wilson at May River, Gilbert at Bluffton, and Lower Richland at Bishop England, unless something funky happens tonight.
Flip to the right side. Good stop by Thomas Hayward. As we flip the puck, flag down, and let's see if Thomas Hayward's defense can make that signature stop here and get close to sealing this one. Terrific game on both ways here. I think Thomas Hayward has proved a lot with how they did, but it's a really results based at this point. You have the opportunity to host the playoff games, and they can win this one. I think if they win this game, they're right back in the conversation as this team can make it all the way. That is how important these next 2 minutes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time
Underwood
stuff.
is stuck for minimal gain. This Hayward D line has been ferocious at times.
One other game we're tracking: the Dodgers leading Toronto 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
1, all right, that was 3-0. Last time I checked.
RBI single by George Springer for the.
All right, Springer back in the lineup. Okay, or was he a pinch? Did he pinch it, or was he start? Okay.
Thomas Hayward is a tiny
started.
school. It is a tiny school. He's the 1A. They're all tiny.
Got another player shaking up for Hayward.
Damn. Tell you what, George Springer is quite the player.
Yeah, he is.
Been very impressed with him.
But the pride of
playing.
Hartford, or right outside Hartford, New Britain, somewhere in the right area in Connecticut.
Into the 7th, 3-1 Doyers. May get game 7, boys.
Oh,
game 7 tomorrow. Would
tell
be
you what,
delightful.
Toronto has shown that they can come back. I look back to that Seattle game where they were down and then came back late. So don't count out the Blue Jays.
This is probably a fact. The Dodgers' payroll is larger than the GDP of multiple nations. I don't know that to be true, but I suspect it to be true.
I suspect it to be true as well.
It's crazy when you think about it.
Yep.
No kidding.
Well, I mean, I think that is the reason why so many baseball fans, so many neutrals are all pulling for the Blue Jays.
We're all on Toronto.
They are the evil empire in today's game. There's no, even though a ton of people love Ohtani. I mean, there's no question about that. He is an international superstar, and he has done wonders for this game.
I love Ohtani. I love
Freeman as well.
I love Freddie.
Yeah,
Freddie
but I don't
Freeman
like
is
the Dodgers.
phenomenal.
Like
I love Yamamoto. Yamamoto's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't love the Dodgers.
No.
And Tommy Edman, I love him as well.
I don't.
I've
He has Cardinal blood. I can't.
Yeah,
that's true. He does.
Right, back to this game. We're under 2 minutes to go. It's 2nd down and long for Buford Academy. 2nd down and around 9. And let's see if Nick Shuford can pull up clutch through the air with the feed. Underwood. Nick Shuford keeps it, rolls and throws. Intercepted. It's intercepted. Thomas Hayward will come up with their third forced turnover of the ball game. Number 11 comes through with the pick. And it's Thomas Hayward ball with 1:43 to go.
How many timeouts?
I can't see the number very well on the scoreboard.
That's Grayson Hyman, the freshman, with the pick.
Wow.
For Thomas Hayward, coaching him up over there. Next generation. That is a huge play, and sounds like it's going to lead to a huge win for Thomas Hayward. And this is a win that makes you feel a whole different type of way about their season than you did yesterday.
It is It is a season-defining win. You are exactly
Really
right,
is.
JJ. No question about it.
That is
We were looking
exactly
for
how
them
the
to get
word
off the
put it.
bus, and
Yep.
eventually it happened. They started playing better football, which led to wins. You go up against one of
And
your arch rivals, and they look
Rebels are
like
going to
they're the better
call
team right now.
timeout. Looks like they have 2 timeouts left. Houston Academy does, and 1:43 to go. So
Okay.
possible that they can get the ball back with a small
Okay.
amount of time.
And on the side of BA, we talked about how they were looking at the outset of the season, playing phenomenal football. It seems like they've kind of hit a tough road where they've sputtered again, and that's a real unfortunate thing. Where the second half of the year, in several of these last years,
Yeah.
has really come back to bite them.
Yeah.
It's looking like THA may be the king of the castle between those two teams now. It's not what you do at the start of the season; it's how you finish. The regular season looks like it's going to go in the way of THA. It'll be interesting to see what both teams do next week, based off their
Yeah.
upcoming matchups.
The defense has been a big story here. They picked off Shuford 3 times,
How
and
about
the D
that?
line has played very well. Now, job is not done. They still have to finish it off, and it's
Yeah,
first down coming up here for
Oh, this will
Rebels.
really bring it home for you. Not only
Yep.
does the loser have to go up there, but the winner gets the winner of Carolina Academy, Lee Academy.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
that is a big difference.
Ooh.
Big difference. So
Yeah.
Gibson short game,
Although
timeout
Carolina
coming.
just beat Thomas Hayward.
Yeah.
I don't know the score
Looks
of
like
that one.
that's their second of the half. So now they
One
just
left.
change it to 0. So I'm not sure. I'll have to double check how many timeouts they have. We are correct or not. But Thomas Hayward is on the verge of securing, well, obviously would be the win of the season so far for them. So trying
Biggest
to
one of the
clinch
year.
that 2 seed. No doubt about that.
I don't know what this man's talking about. Scott Rowland Hall of Fame. I could dig it. I don't know who Willie
Oh.
Banks is. Do you know who Willie Banks is?
Willie Banks.
I don't know who that is. I do know that you got to play the troll toll to
I
get into this boy's soul.
I know Philip Banks, but Willie
I know Willie
Banks,
Mays,
Willie Mays, yeah.
and Adrian
Um,
Beltre does not rival him.
no,
All right. So
Willie.
that
Who is Willie Banks, Kevin?
I don't know.
I'm
He's a figment of
all right.
Kevin's
Eagles called
imagination.
time
Here we
again.
go.
Must be.
That
Last time out.
will probably is their last one. I would think. But it'll be a third and around 4. First down pretty much ends it. And I would be surprised if you think of it as 4 down territory here, because you got 2 plays to get around 4 yards, and you're right around midfield. So we'll see what Thomas Hayward coaching staff decides to do.
Man,
I think she
decision
hit the
time.
run after this because get the directions back home.
Yeah, late night out in Ridgeland. At least you got a nice easy shot on
Got a great
I-95.
game.
Yeah. Yep. Not too bad.
I don't like to mess
Three
around with Coosahatchee Road at night this time of
Yep.
year. Too many deer.
three very good games this weekend for sure.
Oh,
Obviously,
Banner,
I
test the
was
right
lucky to see
side.
2 of them.
Tony Banner. It's a first down. And Thomas
Wow.
Hayward
That is
is
going to
going
seal
to
it.
seal this one here tonight at Harvey Beach Stadium. Oh, my
How?
goodness. The Rebels are going to do it.
How about that?
As the late great Mel Allen used to say.
Absolutely.
How about that?
How about that? Man, I love that show. This week in baseball.
Tell you who does a great Buzz Brainerd impression. You're probably not surprised to hear this name, Kevin Libby.
Yeah,
He
I
does a
had to throw that
great
part
Buzz
in there.
Brainerd.
This week in baseball. So yeah, Seahawks salting this one away, 53-20, and it looks like everything's going to be final here real soon. We're
Nope.
taking knees over in Ridgeland. Thomas Hayward going to pick up a huge win.
My gosh.
I think
How
we
about
all
that?
almost wanted to talk ourselves into
We
that
all
last
go
night,
with
but
BA.
couldn't.
If we all go
I
with
think,
BA,
yeah, we
We all
did.
did.
Yeah, we were in unison on
there you
everything.
go. It is
Um,
victory formation time here at Thomas Hayward, your Rebels of Thomas Hayward Academy, after
man,
a
it's a big win for them.
tumultuous start to the season where they had some games postponed or canceled, and then they had some tough performances. Well, it doesn't matter now because they are about to secure the number 2 seed in this region.
It was Ernie Banks. That's who we were
Ernie
thinking about.
Banks. And
I
Kevin
don't.
said, thank goodness I only wrote it.
I can't say that Adrian Beltre rivals Mr. Cub.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no.
He don't mess
And there
around.
it
Keeps the
is.
hatchet
Thomas
roll.
Hayward, 32. Buford Academy, 27.
Wow.
How
It's
about
It
it?
was.
Harvey evening here at Thomas Hayward Academy. Harvey Beach Stadium. The fireworks are going off here in Ridgeland.
They had the
No
pyrotechnics set
tricks,
up.
all treats tonight
That's
for the
good
Rebels.
stuff. They had the pyrotechnics ready to go. That's pretty good.
It's awesome.
They had some confidence going into this one, but no, that's a big win. Like you said, season defining is a great way to put it, and it puts them in a great place next week. It sounds like they might get to go on the road to Carolina Academy again and try to avenge last week's loss, which would be very interesting. And not on the road. I'm sorry, Carolina would have to come to them this time after going on the road last week. So that'd be huge for Thomas Hayward if they can
Really
get a
would.
playoff win. Maybe get a shot at another
Get a
shot at
home
college and
playoff
prep
game
in round 2.
yeah.
So good stuff. All right, Wes. Final thoughts from over there before we let you get on the road, or are you already gone?
He's there.
Is he?
He,
He's frozen for me.
I see him. He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen up. He might have
Frozen
peaced out.
like an icicle with
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
chilly as it is out there.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he's a
Okay.
goner. He's heading for the road, heading back home. He might jump on with us once he gets out to the interstate. But we only got this one left to go. Minute 3 left to go. So we'll start going through the finals for week 10, almost in the books now. Bluffton 28-21 last night over May River. You were on the call, Marcus. Great game. May
Yeah,
River
it really
did
was.
everything they needed to do to have a chance to win and just didn't quite have enough. Bluffton with some big plays from Amari Patterson. Certainly made some big ones, but Cordell Holly, the MVP,
Cordell Holly
for the
was
work
a
he did on the
dude.
ground, and Bobcats going into the playoffs on a high note.
As Daniel Court said, we could have given it certainly to Aiden McCarthy. We already did that. We could have given it to Amari Patterson. We could have given it to Carnell Warren, but Cordell Holly found a second and third and fourth gear. And DC said, what was the key, for him to have that kind of performance? And he said, I just wanted to do something different. And
Yeah,
he
he said
did something
there was
different.
something different in his blood. That's what he
There
said
was
last
something,
night.
definitely something different. Or yeah, that's right.
Something different.
There was definitely something different, and he knew the magnitude of the moment as both teams did for sure. And it's kind of like we've been talking about a bunch of, especially over the last couple of weeks. You just have a couple extra wrinkles with teams like Bluffton and certainly Hilton Head and Hilton Head Christian Academy and a few others that can consolidate and really get after teams like Hilton Head Prep and May River, and certainly this Beaufort team that we're seeing as looks like that has gone final
Yes,
there
sir.
at Hilton
Sure
Head,
has.
53-20 final score. So, all of these teams are very talented. Max and I were even talking, and a lot of it had to do with some bad luck and certainly unfortunate circumstances. But Battery Creek, has
Yeah.
worked really hard, and that situation there is just, I have no other way to say it. but it just makes me sad
Yeah.
because those kids bust their tails, and the ability that I've seen from Ed Susie to manage kids and his ability to, get his message out to the media. I've said this multiple times from year one to where we are now, as far as what he has told me on media day. He has grown as a coach. He has grown
Yeah.
as a leader of men. And I think he definitely will be back next year, but you got to wonder, just can Battery Creek get off the map some more? They had 3 wins last year and they only had 2 this year. Um, Played some games that they could have won, a play here, a play there, a series here, a series there, and maybe they, instead of winning 2 games, maybe they win 4 or 5.
Right.
Um,
Well, I
or
think there may
possibly
be
more.
relief coming. They may drop down to 2A.
And
And the
that's what we've been
reason
talking
is
about
that
too, and that would
I've
be ideal.
heard they have already decided they're going to change things up in this next realignment. Instead of having the larger 5A division with the 2 divisions, they're going to have one 5A division. They're going to have a larger 1A division with 2 divisions like they used to. So it will reconfigure things a little bit as far as pulling some of those smaller 3As down to 2A, smaller 2As down to 1A, smaller 4As down to 3A, and that may help us get to better competitive balance. So as we've always said, they're always working
Be nice.
on ideas and solutions to these things because the members see the same things we do and they complain about the same things we do. And so they come together and bring all the heads together and they talk it out and they come to a consensus, and it's usually some kind of a compromise, and so it takes time to balance things out, but we're getting
The
there.
the other team that I have a question of, and I have my own kind of theories, but we'll talk about those later. Is the team that we just saw on Buford's own, the Buford Eagles,
Yeah,
because for the second straight year they have really underachieved.
yeah.
And I know that the injuries were a huge factor in that last year. I don't think I can say the same this year. And
No, this was
despite
a
the
different year.
score,
Yeah,
despite the score, I was telling Max, when we saw them against Bluffton, they put up a touchdown and they looked awfully competitive. Obviously, the other game that we had on WHHI with them was their dusting of BC.
right.
But this looks like a different situation at Buford, and I'm not so sure that it's just football related. Unfortunately, it's going to be interesting to see how things go, and certainly
Yeah,
with players. You think about Bryce Lybrand; he's been there quite some time now. Um, I'm not alluding to anything. I'm not speculating on anything, but you just wonder.
yeah.
He's a tremendous coach, and you
And he
just
was,
kind of wonder.
it's kind of a good encapsulation of just the "what have you done for me lately" thing, right? He was a hot coach
Yeah,
a couple of years ago. There were people coming after him, and he didn't want any part of it. He wanted to stay at Buford, and now it's kind of
and
swung in the other
kudos
direction.
to him for
Um,
that, for
yeah,
not
and
wanting
I
that
don't think it's a
situation.
coaching
He
issue
loves
at
where
all
he's at.
there. They definitely got better over the course of this year. With they got more out of the players they had toward the end than they did at the beginning,
We
I
saw
think.
it tonight, putting
And
20 points on the board.
I'm sure they did have some injuries over the course that were pretty key. But I thought their offense improved. They had to make a quarterback change early, and so that set them back a little bit. But I thought it got better and better. And I thought their defense
Good
was
point.
actually quite solid for most of the year. In the games where they gave up a lot of points, it was usually because their offense couldn't keep the defense off the field, and it got away from them late. So I don't think and again, they played such a tough non-region schedule.
And
They could have
that's the
scheduled
thing
2 or 3
too.
more wins in there, but that's not what they do.
That's
And so
same
I
thing
think
with
it was just a case
HHCA.
of their talent not meeting their expectation level this year, the last couple of years, and it may not get a lot better soon because I'm told that the middle school ranks over there are not as strong as they
Mm.
have been. So we'll see. We'll see. Certainly, you may get some kids though seeing that there's an opportunity. at Beaufort and
Yeah,
to go play for a really good coaching staff that's taken kids there that before and put a bunch of kids in college, and you may get some kids transferring from other places and wanting to go play at Beaufort. So we'll see. There's a lot of moving parts to it. There will certainly be there's almost always somebody that loses their job at the end of the season, and that's always unfortunate. We like these guys. We
we
they're
sure do.
our colleagues. We work alongside them, and we hate for them to lose their job. We never advocate for it, but we also
Right.
understand that it's a business, and that you're trying to the athletic director is charged with putting the kids in the best position to be successful, and that includes hiring the right coaches. So
Yep.
we'll probably see some change in a couple of places. You got an interim tag at Whale Branch. We'll see what happens with Willie White there with the interim tag, whether that gets lifted or if they open it back up and see what's out there. Um, I don't know where else we'd really see a change other than Colleton. I think that's probably
Yeah.
imminent. Battery Creek is certainly a possibility. Anytime you've got a new AD since the one who hired the coach, that's always a possibility after a tough season. Um, but it's that's a tough job to attract a good coach to, and I think Ed Susie's a pretty good coach.
He is.
It's not like he's the only one that wasn't able to win there.
And
It's a
like
tough situation.
I had
Um,
said, he's proved it even more the last 2 years,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. I've seen it, as we
yeah.
all have.
And then, I think Bluffton obviously is safe. I think you're more concerned about him getting offered another job, possibly out of state. That Georgia is an attractive place to coach. So
Similar
I would,
situation to Bryce from a few years back after
yeah.
they
And
won
I'm
the championship.
and don't get it twisted. I'm not speculating. I'm not saying this guy's
Correct.
one foot out the door or anything like that. We're just kind of talking through it right now about where things might happen, and certainly
I
young coach, first head coaching job, has a lot of success. First group of
and
seniors graduates that came through the program. The timing would be right if he was
that's
gonna
part of the reason
do a transfer.
why I asked Hayden that question to
Yeah.
end things, because yeah, everything's lining up except
Hmm.
for really one thing, is that he doesn't have a state championship
Right.
yet.
Right.
He
Yep.
obviously did that at Collins Hill in Georgia with his dad,
Right.
and he would
Hmm.
love to get one at Bluffton. I definitely know that. And what he's
Yeah.
been able to do with those kids has been absolutely remarkable.
Yeah.
Obviously, we build our relationships with these guys, and you and I were there the day that Hayden had
Yep.
his first press conference, and there's something very special about a lot of the guys that we cover week to week, if not
Yep.
day to day. Hayden's one of the really good ones, just in terms of what he's able to get out of his team,
Oh, for sure.
for sure. And he's
He's a great young coach, and
yes,
has
he
a
is.
chance to really develop into a tremendous one. With the years of experience and maturity
Great
that come with
family man
that.
too.
Yeah, I think he's really going to be a good one.
Yep,
And those kind usually don't stay in one place forever, but you never do know. There's something to be said for building your own legacy somewhere.
that's right.
Um, yeah, JP2's in good footing for sure going into the playoffs.
Yeah, Shane's another
They've
one
got
I
that
am so
program going the
impressed
right way.
with.
Not
My
going to see a
goodness.
change at Cross because certainly you saw a lot of progress in Rico McCoy's first year. I think McFadden is solidified there. Peduzzi's not
Yes.
going anywhere.
No.
Payne's not going anywhere.
No.
Um, you know, uh, I hope Coach Gardner's not going anywhere at Hardyville because he's
I
definitely
hope
got
not
a
either.
going in the right direction. Patrick Henry, that they've got the JV coming up. They got their program built there.
Ridgeland's got a good
Daniel Bryan's
situation.
done a great job of keeping that program together this year at
How
Thomas
about it?
Hayward, and has certainly earned a couple more years to see what he can do there. And Nick
Especially with the
Shepard's not
fact a
going
couple of
anywhere
guys are
yet.
leaving. Nick's not going anywhere.
Nah, nah.
I
So
think
most of our guys
I
will be
think
back.
the majority of the guys, if not all of them, will be returning
Yep,
in
I think so too.
2026.
Looking ahead to the postseason, let's see what we got here. We told you a little bit about what we expect. It looks like Hilton Head will be at home against South Aiken next week in Class 4A, with May River at home against Wilson, Bluffton at home against Gilbert. That's what we're looking at in our projections, and we'll double check with the scores, and we'll have official brackets tomorrow, I presume. But that's what we're tracking. In 3A, we got Battery Creek going to Loris, a 4 versus 1 match, or 5 versus 1 matchup. That's going to be a tough battle for the Dolphins. In 2A, Hampton County will be at home against Lake City, and Whale Branch will be headed to Phillips Simmons. That is a very tough matchup for the Warriors. And in 1A, we'll have Ridgeland at home against Bethune-Bowman and Hardyville at home against Lakeview. Haven't gotten into the Skeeza brackets, but we do know that HHCA will be home against Trinity Collegiate. JP2 will be at Florence Christian, right? That was the deal. So JP2 Florence Christian, that one might be over in about an hour and a half.
Could be.
Neither one of them's too keen on putting the ball up in the air if they don't have to. So you may see a lot of running in that game, and I think that's a good matchup for JP2. I think
I agree.
they handle the run pretty well. I think the pass gives them a lot more fits than the run. No, I don't. Teen Wolf is a junior. No, I can't see him going to Bluffton. The
No.
Wolf family is very entrenched at JP2.
Yeah.
And they got a whole pack of wolves about to come through JP2 because I believe Allen's the oldest of the bunch.
If I'm being honest, and I'm a little bit biased with the connection that I have with JP2, that is such a well-oiled machine and such a tight, faithful family unit there.
Yeah.
If anybody was to transfer out of JP2, honestly, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, very few people do because you don't take your child to Catholic school if you don't want them to go to Catholic school.
Right.
So it's like once you go there, you're going there. Like it's the Catholic school, so no, and unless it's like a mercenary who goes there looking to play or something and they don't like what they see and they go somewhere else. You could have somebody like Sam Suma. They were very connected to JP2 as well. They just saw that for Sam's development, he needed to play at a higher level. And that was the right move for them. He went to Hilton Head High, he excelled and ended up at UCLA. And that was the right play for them. But that was more of a situational thing than they weren't looking to leave JP2 at all. They just
wasn't he at HHC? Was he at HHCA?
No, Suma was at JP2.
He was at JP2. Maybe I'm thinking of his days at Hilton Head then.
Yeah, then he went to Hilton Head.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So no, I don't anticipate anybody getting out of there. But who knows? In Nabonet, maybe at some point if he's starting to look like a big college prospect and he wants to play at a higher level. But with JP2 on its way to Skeeza 4A eventually, I mean it's a pretty high level.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think you have to go chasing at that level really.
They showed great signs this year. Obviously, I saw them twice. And what did we say earlier this week? This is the third winningest season in their program's history, getting 5 regular season wins.
And if they get a win next week, it'll be only their third winning season in the program's history. So that would be huge and first one in a long time since that state championship run where they didn't win the state championship, runner up, but they made it to the state finals. So been a great season for JP2. Sorry, I got away from saying these scores. Bluffton 28-21 over May River. Hanahan 31-21 over Battery Creek last night. Creek showing some fight in the second half. JP2 put up a fight on the road but fell short 48-28 to Pinewood Prep. And Cross Schools put up a maybe all-time high, 36 points. They might have scored that many last year against Conway Christian. But 36, that was a season high, and they fall 56-36 to Palmetto Christian. Then this afternoon, HHCA 33, Hilton Head Prep 21. This evening, Hilton Head 53, Buford 20. Seahawks finished 9-1, and they will be home until the lower state finals if they keep winning. Bishop England 55-0 over Colleton County. Barnwell 43-12 over Whale Branch at last report late in the fourth quarter. I think it's final, but I don't know. Well, I know it's final, but I think that's the final score. Hardyville 45-0 over Allendale Fairfax. Patrick Henry 26-6 in the hate week game against Andrew Jackson. It's the Fed Necks. That's what they call them. The Fed Necks. Confederates, rednecks.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Thomas Hayward, 32, Buford Academy, 27. And if you made it this deep in the show, congratulations. You got to know what they call him. I think I referenced that last night.
Your
But Thomas Hayward, 32, Buford Academy, 27. West took us through the
trivia of the
final
day.
minutes of that one. That was the game of the night for sure,
Yeah.
and a huge win for THA as they lock up number 2 seed, which did not seem possible the way they started this season. I mean, at first they couldn't play a game, let alone win one. They had 3 games wiped out by weather. They got blown out by JP2, of course, without Tonio Banner. They lost that game on the road to Carolina Academy, but man, they salvaged it all with a win tonight over BA and a chance to really add to it next week with a potential home playoff win. Still haven't seen the score to know for sure.
As Paul Rudd once said, "Oh, the weather outside is weather."
Indeed. Indeed it is. I wonder what the score is. I would like to know a score of one game that I can't find a score of. And that's annoying. Because it would tell us for sure
Tell me about it.
who somebody's going to play in the playoffs. Yeah, I still don't see it. Carolina Lee. But Thomas Hayward will host either Carolina Academy or Lee Academy next week. So that'll be cool. And that, my friend, is it. Thank you for riding with me tonight while Max was out Halloween partying and Wes was on location. Thanks to all of our sponsors. We didn't shout them out, but we're presented by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors, with support from Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks, Twinge and Twombly Personal Injury Attorneys, HHI Windows and Doors, Reverence Wrestling Club, and Jay's Barbershop. We appreciate all their support. And if you'd like to become a sponsor, get in touch. Thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch, especially our great friend in the comments, Kevin Libby. We did not subject you to most of his comments tonight, but you can see them on the Facebook feed if you must.
Yes,
try to make sense of them if you can without the context in which they were presented.
Just do us a favor and laugh because, you know, Kevin's one of a kind.
Kevin's Kevin, man.
To have a friend like Kevin Libby is to have a great friend for life. Trust me on that,
as
folks.
comfortable in your own skin as Kevin Libby is what everyone should aspire to.
Yes.
And I like to think I'm right up there with him. Maybe not quite as comfortable as he is, but close. But he's very comfortable in that skin, and
he's
I
good
appreciate
people.
that. I appreciate that in a person. I like to know who you are and not have to guess. So anyway, thanks for riding with us tonight. It was a great week 10. It was a great regular season, but we're not done yet. We'll be back Monday night with the Lowco Sports Lowdown. By then, we'll have all the playoff matchups set. And by Thursday, we'll have them all previewed and get you ready for the first round of the playoffs next Friday night in the Lowco. Thanks again for joining us. And thanks to all of our sponsors for the departed Wes Kerr, the partying Max Araj, and Marcus Walsh. I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.